I'm just doing a little light reading because as I make this video, it's the last vestiges of 7/7/2016, and the number 777 is coming up constantly with me. And lo and behold, it was that I read from Revelations. And apparently there's 7, and I have never read Revelations. I haven't read any of this stuff. Christians get kind of creeped out by me because I start quoting all these things from the Bible, and people who aren't Christians but maybe were raised in the Christian faith, some denomination they're in. And I think the Bible's interesting. I don't take it literally. But the thing is, there's a lot of you dark brothers out there, and no, I'm not talking about people whose melanin might be more abundant than others. I'm talking about dark brothers, and you know who you are, who, it occurs to me that deceivers like to twist things, and light becomes dark and dark becomes light. And in Revelations, there's 7 angels with 7 vials of something. I don't know. I haven't really read it enough yet. But it was interesting that I was being guided with all the 7/7 and today's 7/7. And it just happens to be the 7th anniversary of me doing this as a Job. Oh, isn't that a book in the Bible too? Book of Job? Job? And I want to give you guys something, and I'll talk about that later, but it has to do with the 7 as well. So that number seems very meaningful right now and powerful. And you might want to look up multiple 7s in numerology, because that has some interesting angelic connections as well. I'm not saying, just saying. But back to those dark brothers again who like to confuse and distort in order to be the most praised and who loves God the most. They will have you believing that the parables that Christ spoke of, the parables, which is just another word for metaphor, are real. And the scriptures that were supposedly based on real events were fake. The Prince of Lies always twists things to give you more information, and you do get knowledge. You do get knowledge, and you do learn, and maybe you even heal. But then what the Prince of Lies does is he will, and I don't hate him. I don't hate him. It's silly to hate someone that jealous and that immature and that miserly and hurt. I have a lot of compassion for the Prince of Lies, who, by the way, has restored himself at his heavenly seat, so it makes even less sense to play that game anymore. But anyway, the Prince of Lies, who loves God the most, supposedly, will tell you, look how ridiculous this is. None of this is real. Are you to believe that there are angels and demons while they're secretly practicing Goetia magic? And they totally believe in demons, and they summon demons. They'll tell you, am I to believe that there's an old man in the sky telling us what to do? Completely negating the parables that Christ spoke of so abundantly. Because he had to speak in code. When he said, I will speak in parables, he was speaking in code. Because he lived in a world that didn't like what he was doing and was run by the Romans. And they were pretty violent. They like to use Christians for all manner of gladiatorial entertainments? Are you not entertained? So, the Prince of Lies knows the truth. And yet, he distorts it because there's probably a personality disorder hidden in there that he doesn't want to talk about either. Because he likes to distract with other personality disorders and pretend like he doesn't have something that he does have. Because he's the Prince of Lies. So he's going to tell you to your face, I'm not sick. I'm not crazy. I'm healed. I don't have attachment disorders. This video is very coded, but also has great love and a great capacity for love, and then shuts it down. That's the hot, cold of someone who has given their life to the Luciferian idea. And it's just funny because, you know, it seems to me like if we're going to go along those lines of parables and metaphors and things that are like something else, that if there's great trumpets alerting you to an awakening and you want a legacy and you want to leave a legacy for people, it seems to me like you might want to heed the call and listen to what the music is. Listen to the song. Hear it, and really hear it. Which leads me to why I also wanted to make the video. Now I'm going to do something that I've never done before. And I'm offering this as a thank you to everyone who supported me over the years. As part of this anniversary, I want to celebrate it. It's $7. Highly symbolic. And if you want to get it, just shoot me an email at anyaisachannel@gmail.com. Or you can just go to PayPal, and when it asks who to send it to, just send the money to anyaisachannel@gmail.com. And I will do a DNA activation for you. And if I get energetically that you're not supposed to have that happen, I'll refund your money. And if you don't get something out of that, just wait 48 hours, because sometimes it takes a while to kick in. But I'll refund your money. And I'll do this for, let's see, the next month or so. Because I got the very clear message that it's time. And the Prince of Lies doesn't want to hear this. And doesn't think that you are supposed to have DNA activations. That it's only supposed to be for an elite group or a select group. That not everyone can handle this. But trust me, it is time. I got the trumpet call. I heard. It was a revelation. And yes, the vast majority of you who watch this are ready and you can handle it. And if you know someone who you think would want a DNA activation, I will do that for them. Just email me and we can do this. If you really want to be in touch with your inner self, if you really want to cut this shit out about what you've been told about who you are and what you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do, you can't do it if the door is closed. If the door is slammed shut to your own soul, you are not going to get the lesson plan. It is not going to be mailed to you. You aren't going to receive the facts. You're not going to get it. All a DNA activation is the recombination of ideas that you have inside of you that are based on truths, that are ancient knowledge that has been suppressed. And I want to wake up everyone. And I don't think that should be under the purview of the Masons or secret societies or people who want to tell you that your pineal gland isn't real and it doesn't have powerful capabilities for reactivation and reanimation of your soul, basically. There's parts of your being that have been shut off on purpose, and I know how to click that switch on. And there's lots of people who do. I don't know how good they are. I know that my results have caused major life changes for people, including, and I'll include a link of an audio file with a famous guy named Dan Fogler, who's a friend of mine, who's an actor and a director and a very creative guy, who personally considered what I did for him to be a revelation. And it kick-started him into a journey that was quite meaningful for him. So I have an audio file of his experience after I did that. And he mentions that I put a crystal on his forehead. I did. It was purely instinctual. But that's not necessary. I do remote healings and I do remote energy work. And that's, I don't need to physically see you in person to do that. But if you want this, it's $7. Or you can donate whatever you want. But I'm just using the $7 as a symbolic number. So if you can't afford $7, it's okay. But what I really want, I'm working below cost here, people. But this is a service I provide as part of my regular services, but I'm offering it for just basically, you know, a symbolic gesture, because it's more important to me that people wake up. And people do need to wake up. It's getting pretty serious. But the veil is lifting. And these people in power who think we're too stupid to handle it, they're fading away. They're dying off. And if they don't die off, they're clinging to their desperate little idea of what they think they're supposed to be doing, which is completely wrong-headed. It's misguided. I'll be honest with you, I don't like them, but I wish them well. I don't wish them ill will. But these people are a relic. They're not with what's coming. What's coming is so much more than you could possibly imagine. And it's apocalypse now. But the apocalypse, like I said, it's not earthquakes and tidal waves and people dying. It's old ways dying. It's the end days as we know it, not the literal end of the world. So when the Prince of Lies tells you that it's silly, these things in the Bible, they were talking about getting closer to God and getting closer to Christ. It's getting closer to Christ consciousness, the activation of this. And the Prince of Lies doesn't want you to get close to this, because the Prince of Lies is jealous and wants God only to himself. And I'm saying, I don't want that. I want everyone to have God within them awakened, because the world is a much better place when it doesn't have a monopoly on consciousness. Thank you.